welcome to Vampire the Requiem, Reap the Whirlwind, the Jumpstart, right here. We will be running this today. Last week, we did our character creation. So real quick, we're just going to have everyone introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about their character. Let's start things off with Trick. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, pronouns, and who you're playing their pronouns, please.
All right, so I'm Trick, or the Hair Trick. I'm he, him, just as my character is, and that's Vsevolod Slaznov, or Sevka, for people who don't speak Russian or are learning Russian. And they are a stock exchange guru worker, so that's where they siphon all their money from, essentially.
Beautiful. And then next up, Ailey, give us your pertinent.
Hello, I'm Ailey. I am playing Layla, which is spelled a little wrong on the layout, but that's okay.
Oh, whoops.
All good. Yeah, her name is Layla. She is a quiet librarian who will also do pretty much anything you offer her for money. And she'll enjoy it too. The harder the job, the more fun she'll have with it.
Love it. Beautiful. Next up, Fran, please give us your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Fran Stewart, pronouns she, her, and for this game I'm playing Huey Prochaska, a grumpy World War II veteran who hangs around dive bars and basically tries to keep his head down and make an honest living, which is difficult when you're a fucking vampire.
That's very true, as you will soon discover. Jeremy, your pertinence, please.
I am Jeremy Hochhalter, he, him, playing Yare Timonin, also he, him. As we were discussing before the show, my night job, I guess, not my day job, because I don't go outside during the day, is a photographer, but I'm really a serial killer in the disguise of a vampire. Yay!
Yay! This is a well-adjusted group.
Yeah.
And then, last but most certainly,
Don't head shrink me, bud.
We've got Chaz. Please give us your pertinence.
Hi, so I am Chaz, he, him, just as my vampire, L. Friedrich Baudrillard, a hedonistic, nihilistic, philosophy-loving vampire who is obsessed with those patch jackets and the anything that makes him look more philosophical and professorial. And his nighttime adult job is a night college professor, philosophy 101.
Excellent. And as we discussed, I'm Travis Legge, he, him. I'll be the storyteller for the duration of this adventure. As we discussed last session, your characters have come together, though you may be associated outside of this task. You've come together with one specific goal in mind. Prince Tiberius has to die. He's got to go. You each have your own reasons for this, your own sort of motivations for this. But at the end of the day, you have all come to the conclusion that this prince cannot continue. And you worked out a great plan. You came together, you were able to lull him into a false sense of safety. Perhaps you fed him some drugged blood. Perhaps you ganged up on him. Whatever the case may be, you now have him basically defeated, beaten, though not yet dead, in one of his auxiliary havens, which is in the, we'll say near the docks. It's a nice apartment, but it's built underneath a warehouse, accessible through a secret end. And you all stand around the prince as he's kneeling, bleeding. He says, "Please, this has gone too far. You don't want to do this. I can help you. I can offer you many things. Let me walk out of here.
I mean, if no one's going to stop me, I'm going to be like, the only thing I want is inside you. And I'm going to try and drink him dry.
Excellent. Go ahead.
I will try to stop you, but Amanda's like, oh no, don't
on.
do it.
Hold on. Listen, bud, you ran this city like shit. People were miserable in this town when you were in charge. You got up to all kinds of bullshit. You're a fucking horrible ruler. I'd be happy to see the back of you. I don't care if you go off and terrorize some bunch of fuckers back in Europe or something like that, but I'm perfectly fine letting one of these guys suck you dry if I can't be guaranteed that I'm not going to see you around here anymore.
Is you may have your quibbles with the way I've run things, but I have kept this city in check. Would you burn down the whole forest to get a fox?
I lean down and I'm like, I've fought in a country where they ran the trains on time, pal. That's not how we do things in America.
He raises an eyebrow and then takes a deep breath and says, well, then I'm certainly not going to die on my knees. Roll initiative.
Joke.
Roll a d10 and add it to your initiative score.
Okay, I can do that. Maybe.
Six.
Excellent.
Just on the off chance that someone maybe did not fill in their initiative modifier, how would one derive that?
It's the lowest of your dexterity or wits plus your athletics.
Okay, got it.
All right, so because that was the thing I forgot was opening up a dice roller for myself because I don't own dice because I'm a noob.
D10s.
D10 plus what? Initiative modifier, you said?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
And I got a 5.
Excellent.
So it's the D10 plus your initiative mod?
Yes.
I have a 15 because I rolled a 10.
Excellent.
I have a 7.
Damn.
And Jari, what you got?
14.
Okay.
Should have fucking expected to get sucker punched by some Nazi.
So the prince kind of stands up, and as he stands up, like just draws back, and like you see his knuckles hit the floor, and when they do, like the carpet shreds and concrete chunks like pop up from like his drawback to take a swing at you.
Well,
What is your defense, Huey?
my defense is 4.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm probably going to be seeing the ceiling.
Second. Yep. Okay. Minus your defense. So. Allow me to collect my math rocks. 2, 3. That is 4 successes to hit you. As he hits you, I would like you. Do you have resilience by chance?
Let's find out. I do.
That'll come in handy.
So that's 2d10.
I'm just looking to see exactly what the resilience of 2 does for you. This is lethal damage that you're looking at.
Okay.
And I want to make sure because I don't want to roll knowledge wrong addition. Okay. Passive effects adds it to your stamina and health, which should already be figured in.
Believe so.
You can spend a vitae, if you so choose, to subtract your resilience +1 from all sources of damage. So you would reduce
That
the
sounds
incoming...
like a reasonable use.
Okay.
So that would be subtracting 3
From this source. Yep, and then you'll roll your stamina.
And then I roll my stamina, which again is d10s.
Right, and does include your resilience as well.
Okay. All right. And I have a target number to beat of
You
4.
are looking for... No, your target numbers are always 8 in this system,
8.
I do believe.
Got it. Okay. That, and then... Oh, did I not roll my...
Someone will correct me if I'm wrong about that.
I made 1 success.
Excellent. So, when you are hit, you take 3 levels of lethal damage. Mark those by making X's in your health. And he reaches back, and despite your supernaturally fortified body, he hits you in your lower jaw, and you feel one of your fangs like shatter in your mouth. As blood and tooth sort of flies about 10 feet, and you are moved back probably about 5 feet from the force of this punch. That will then bring us to Sevka. What would you like to do?
Well, I am not one for melee combat of any kind. So I'm assuming when he sees that, he'd be like, in Russian, Oiblin Beggy, which means, oh shit, run. Or oh shoot, roughly. So, yeah, I think I'm going to not stand around and wait for my turn.
Right, so you're going to turn and just take off?
I mean, do I have my assault rifle with
You
me?
have whatever weapons you would have brought for the party. So I'm assuming you have your weapons with you. I'm assuming this was a well-executed plan up until this point.
Yeah.
As Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you hit them in the face.
Till they get hit. Yeah, I'm not. I feel like shooting a gun at him. I mean, so we drugged him or did something to weaken him, and he's already beating our asses.
Yes, that is correct.
Nah, I'm good. I don't think a gun's gonna fix the problem here. So if there's one thing that Sevka learned is getting out is the better part of valor, I suppose. You can only do so much if you're dead, you know.
Do you have celerity?
I do.
All right. Are you going to utilize that additional speed?
So if I use that discipline, is it gone for the day, or
no? You have to spend 1 vitae to activate it, and then you can multiply your speed by your.
Oh, right, down at the bottom of the sheet.
Yeah. That's the number of yards you move in a turn.
Right. I will say, yeah. Let's do it, because I rolled really high in my vitae. I think I have 10. So.
All right, that will be sufficient to get you to and through the door to this, which will put you into the maintenance tunnels underneath the where.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he literally said, I'm just going to beat the shit out of you or die. One of the two is going to happen. So
all right, so you run out. You all hear the door click open and Sevka's just gone. Share, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, kids, let this be a lesson that you should always follow your dreams. And my dream was to just suck this guy dry. And I halted for a moment, and look what he's doing. So I'm going to try to grab him and sink my fangs into we'll go with his neck. I was going to say his face, chew his face off. But
Let's do a strength and brawl. And let's do plus, I believe that's +1 for your bite. And then let's subtract 7 from that for his defense. Nope, I lied. Let's subtract 5 from that.
So is it possible to even get a success with that?
If you
I don't
get
think so.
down to 1 die, you're
Uh-huh.
just changing your dice pools.
Oh, right. Doesn't. Right. I am at 1 die then, because it's minimum 1, right?
Right. So if you get below your normal dice pool,
Right.
you get a chance die.
That's right. And you need to roll a 10 on that, right?
Right, for it to count as a success. Now,
All
remember,
of those are failures. So
you
close.
can spend Vitae to increase a physical attribute. So
Right.
if pumping your strength up to 3 this turn would help, can. Don't forget to add your vigor into that roll. Well,
That starting with 3 Vitae really kind of nixes that, because I don't want to just fall over asleep next round. So
you
I'm
don't
gonna pass.
out when you run out of Vitae.
You go into torpor,
No,
don't you?
you frenzy.
Oh, that's right. maybe I am okay with that.
Strike that.
I'm feeling
Reverse it.
I'm starting to feel way better about leaving.
Hmm.
Frenzy is just
Okay.
closer to the vampire within.
I am going to spend 1 Vitae then. 10.
All
Shit, you
right,
die.
excellent. All right, and it's 10 again as well, so you do get to roll again.
Oh, right. 10 again.
All right, let's see him.
Seriously.
Let's see him.
I need a camera coming down on this.
No, I mean let's keep him going. Rather, I should say.
Exploding die. I am
Yep.
not kidding you. 10 again.
All right, let's go.
Oh my
We
god!
are actually you're going to kill him.
You're gonna pop him like a can of Old Dominion.
Oh my God.
Wait, Old Dominion comes in cans?
So that's 3.
3. Yeah.
Excellent. You
I need
jump on and bite into him. He does spend 1 Vitae to try to soak some of that egg that's coming his way. Ooh, that's not a great roll though. 3 and a 1. So you sink your fangs into his neck, and you immediately are able to gain 3 Vitae back.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
As he slumps in your grasp. That brings us to.
Sorry for shouting, by the way.
No, you're good. That
That's
brings us
fair.
to
That's a great
Layla.
way to start.
Not a bad way to start. No, Layla, what you got?
Well, he seems like he's got things well in hand, so I'm gonna look for cover.
Sure. You dive behind a couch that the prince has there, and sort of living room. Overstuffed leather couch, looks like you could probably take some bullets, and
Great.
are completely and totally under cover. While you're back there, why don't you go ahead and give me, let's do a Witson Investigation.
Okay. And
Looking
what's the
for-
success?
You're looking for 8s or better. Any 10s that you get, you may re-roll.
All right, 2 successes.
Excellent. So as you drop back there, you look over, and you would have never seen this from a standing vantage point. But as you look over at the bookshelf, you can see a couple of the books on the bottom are a little bit askew, and you see what you're pretty sure is a safe behind that.
Ooh, I'm gonna head No, I'm on a job, Layla. I can do that after.
Shiny. No, wait.
Huey, what would you like to do? Huey? Yes, Huey.
Wow, it's gotten around to me, has
Do
it?
I not have? I don't believe I have an initiative for Alfredrique. What did you get?
7.
7. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you would be before me.
Alfredrique's turn. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
But he's like grabbing our like serial killer friend, like trying to grab.
Oh, no, get off me! Get off me!
Like
Okay.
like you're trying to stop him.
Oh no! I mean, the prince is like is like distracted with
Oh
Question?
yeah, no.
Yare.
At this point, actually, the prince is limp in Yare's arms.
Oh. Fine. I'll just like watch and like kind of do one single tear, like you're living your best life. Do it.
And you can see Yari reaching for his straw that he likes to use.
Oh my god.
I love it. All right,
What are you, the tick?
beautiful. So that then brings us to Huey. What would Huey like to do?
Well, they got the situation pretty well in hand there because he's looking all limp and whatnot. So it feels kind of tasteless, but I'm gonna get a little bit of vitae back because I just spent some. So I'm gonna latch on and
All right, you're gonna latch on too and bring 3.
suck down a little bit.
I would like strength rolls, strength plus vigor rolls from each of you, please.
Okay, let me figure out where all of that is. Strength plus.
Does he frenzy when he's having his vitae drained, or when it gets dropped to 0?
Well,
I have no idea how this whole thing works. So.
Generally, you check for frenzy once your vitae gets low enough.
Okay.
He is suffering from a condition that is preventing him from doing. Namely, that condition is that he's basically.
Vigor is
Where
a
is-
discipline, I assume.
Vigor is a discipline. Yeah, if you don't.
Okay,
have it.
so I got
And what was-
1 success.
You said strength, right?
Yes.
Thanks. Also 1 success.
Excellent. And each of you are blood potency 3.
Correct.
Congratulations. You may spend a willpower point to avoid committing diablerie on this poor fellow, if you so choose. Otherwise, you'll be sucking a portion of his soul into yourself.
Yeah, I don't really want any of that in here. So
You may spend a point of willpower to avoid it.
I have done that thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Excellent.
So I recover 1 vitae.
You recover 3 vitae.
Oh, okay.
And you simply need to roll. Let's see. You need to roll 1 die, each of you. See if your humanity goes down.
Shit.
Well, that's 2, so yes.
That's also what I got.
All right, both of your humanity go down by 1. Your humanity, Jeremy,
Yare,
goes down
yeah.
by 2.
What? I can't imagine.
1 for just the act of premeditated murder, and the second for committing. But your blood potency increases by 1.
Each of us?
No, just his,
It just is. Okay.
because he did the amaranth.
Yeah. Good to the last drop. Got it.
Right. And you may choose a dot. Of vigor, resilience, or dominate.
I'll go with dominate. It's his shtick.
Mhm.
All right.
So that's good.
Wipe my mouth. Thank you, sir.
He turns to Ash.
Didn't fucking slog my way all the way across fucking Europe to come back here and have you assholes fuck shit up.
Do you mean us assholes or that asshole?
No, that asshole, I say, pointing
Oh,
at
okay.
Ash.
There is a ashy smear on the floor. Congratulations, you have killed the prince.
I mean, trust me, if you started taking over the city and kicking people's asses, I would, but
Why don't you give me a wits composure roll there, Sevka?
What's composure? Okay.
Yeah.
So that is that is how many I have marks in those
Yes.
times d10s.
Yep.
Right.
And you're looking for any results of 8 or better.
Oh, okay. I have 1 success.
That's sufficient. You hear like kind of almost like a flash fire sound echo down the hallway, and then like the mumblings of like your compatriots being not dead.
Would I understand what that flashing sound would be, or?
I mean, if like something had burst into flame back there, like say a prince.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was like. I'm like, oh fuck, they actually did it. That crazy axe wielding jackass actually killed him. So I guess I'll stop dead in my tracks and morbid curiosity of whether or not that was my friends that turned into that or the prince, because I have no way of knowing without visually seeing, I guess. So I'll peek in.
You peek in. Layla, as you're down by that couch and you see the prince turn to ash, what would you like to...
Okay, cool. Job complete. Now I can go towards that safe over there while they're busy with the blood.
All right.
I'm off the clock.
As you stick your head in, Sevka, you see Layla like army crawling across the floor towards this bookshelf. While Huey probably gets to his feet first. And Yare is probably a bit overwhelmed. As you have not only the elation of this rush of blood and power in you, you also start having flashes of memory. You remember a mortal life long ago, Eastern Europe. Flashes of forgotten lovers, long dead family. Arrival in this city sometime in the 1800s. And then you start seeing brief flashes of each of the kindred in the city. And as you see a brief flash of them, you get this sense of like voyeuristic glee. You see a flash of the sheriff as he's handing you a dossier. And another. And another. You see one vision stops just briefly enough for you to recognize that dossier contains pictures taken from outside of your studio through a skylight of you engaging in your art.
Invasion of privacy, bastards.
And that
Monsters.
and once that, and this all like sort of washes over you in the matter of mere moments.
Mm-hmm.
As I assume Huey's probably helping you to your feet, like Huey and El Federique, unless
Yep.
El Federique is just watching.
No, now that he's in this like state, I'll be helping him, but also like, so what's happening? How are you doing? Like, explain to me. Tell me, what are you feeling?
Kind of drunkenly, I explain the visions that are kind of like flashing in my brain. Do I see like, is it just like my studio, or does everybody have like a dossier on them?
You get the impression that every vampire in the city has one.
Do I know where these dossiers are kept? Might it be that safe over there?
You don't know offhand where the dossiers are kept. You can
Okay.
give me a wits and occult roll, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, you broke up. What was that?
Wits and occult, sorry.
Okay. Wits and occult.
Meanwhile, while he's rolling that, Layla, you get over to the bookshelf and you clear the books out of the way, and there's absolutely a safe there. The safe has what looks to be like a manual, like spin it kind of lock, like kind of old school. Something you could theoretically crack.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my ear to that and start trying to crack it.
Give me let's do composure larceny roll. And what'd you get on your roll?
2 successes.
You know that you can't summon the knowledge of where they're kept, but you are able to summon the knowledge that the sheriff was responsible for gathering the information, and that the prince's consort, you might say, a deva by the name of Amelia, was always given the information. So she might have an idea of where it's actual. What'd you get there? Yeah.
1 success.
All right. You're clicking and clicking. It takes you a minute, and you kind of like shush everybody for a second, and then click, pop, the safe opens.
What's inside?
$10,000 worth of cash, deeds for a number of properties around town, and a cell phone.
I don't say a word. I just start pocketing as much as I can possibly fit on my person.
So, what you got over there, Layla?
Pull out the cell phone. I found a cell phone.
Her pockets are just like
And-
bulging with cash, right?
Don't make me pick you up and shake you again. That would be embarrassing for both of us.
Some money, some deeds to properties, whatever. But the cell phone.
Yeah, the cell phone is very shiny. You can keep that if you want.
Mm-hmm. I start looking at the cell phone. I'm assuming it needs a password to open.
You're
Right.
assuming incorrectly. It is a flip-ass Nokia phone.
It's an antique.
Creatures
Are there
of the
any-
night.
Are there any text messages?
There are no text messages, and there are only 2 contacts in the phone.
What are they labeled?
The 2 contacts are labeled. Amelia is one of them. And the second is Harmon, who you're all aware is the name of the sheriff.
Okay. Are there any voicemails?
No voicemails.
And
last-
Sevka,
I'm sorry? What?
and Sevka's returned?
What?
Sevka has returned.
Oh, yes, Sevka has returned.
All right. I'm going to
I don't know. I didn't understand this.
to Sevka because he's kind of the computer guy, so I'm assuming he could have fun with that or whatever.
Yeah. I'll take the cell phone from you and monkey around with it, and suspiciously your pockets, I'm sure, are bulging with cash.
Yeah, it's like 10 grand in like 20s.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
With that information, I'll say it might have been easier if you just put it in a sack and threw it over your shoulder there.
No, I've got like some in my bra, some on my pants, just like every little, some in my shoes.
Just stand there with like square boobs. You look like Laura Croft.
I'm wearing like combat boots. You know how much money I can stuff in combat boots?
Oh my god.
Um, as you pass the phone, it does occur to you, as you glance down, it is about 4:45 a.m. right now.
Mm.
You have about 45 minutes until the sun rises.
Well, that's my cue. Gotta go home. Great job, everybody.
Collar, grab, drag. Seriously, I will pick you up and shake you. No, I'm not kidding. You remember at that Denny's that one time?
Oh, that was a good day.
I found it.
Yeah, you found it.
Find it.
Congratulations on that. And
I cracked the safe.
okay,
My find.
this, and I riffle the money that's sticking out of your underwear. This is your finder's fee right here. You get to keep that part. The rest of it goes towards, I don't know, something better. All right?
Better.
Like taking care of the city. The way that, look, we came here to murder this asshole because he was being an asshole. All right? We don't get to just start off today by being even bigger assholes.
Okay, what if I donate a percentage of it to the library?
Hand goes through your belt loop, and I start lifting you and upending you.
I was going to say
Make
that
it rain!
I would remind them that we all came here with a plan to do and split everything that we found, if successful, to continue. You know,
Okay.
this whatever we found was going to be split evenly as part of the payment for getting the job done.
Oh, if we agreed on that beforehand, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, one might assume you did, one might assume you didn't. You may have different
I was-
recollections of it.
Yeah,
But-
I was more going for like if that was a persuasion roll or not.
Well, it's up to you. You know, you can always just discuss it in character. That's
You don't
fine.
even have to roll for that if you say that out loud. You're my boss in this. You hired me. So if that's
Yeah.
part of the
Well,
deal.
I
that's
mean,
part
we
of-
also weren't supposed to, and I look over at Yare, drain the fucking prince, but you know.
I'm pretty
Well, it
sure
worked, didn't it? He's dead.
Yeah, we could have killed him in multiple different ways as well.
And I'm gonna look around for
Or-
a dustbuster
or
to
you
like
could've-
remove the remove the evidence.
There is a dustbuster. He has it next to like. There's clearly a chair that's like his throne, and next to it is a dustbuster and like a umbrella rack that has like 5 wooden stakes in it.
Oh my god.
You just send me over there. Try to clean up the
I
prints.
still wonder how I wound up with any of you. Then I'm supposed to be the
Fucking
sociopath.
tasteless asshole.
As you're sucking the prints up into a dustbuster, why don't you go ahead since you have that cell phone, Sevka, and give me a intelligence computer roll.
Okay. And, 3 successes.
All right.
I hit a 10 on the one, so.
So as you're going through it, you can tell that he routinely deletes his text messages, and routinely deletes the call history. However, he's not smart enough to go in and like empty the trash.
So there's like a few gigs worth of
So like, yeah, you go
trash
in,
sitting there to be
there's-
restored.
Yeah, and it's all, there's no photos in there. It's all like text messages and call logs. But they mainly are like on my way, there in 10. Did you get the package? Things along those lines. It's all very, nothing that you can easily like follow what exactly they're speaking. And
I am
most of the communication seems to be between him and Harmon.
The sheriff. Well,
Most
I
of the
will.
text communication. Most of the calls seem to be to Amelia.
And they're all kind of just like vaguely referencing, like, "Did you get the package? Hey, meet me up here to get the stuff." You know?
Right.
Gotcha. Well, I will communicate that to everybody and be like, we might have loose ends once they figure out what's happened. And I kind of look over at Yare, considering that you're dust bunnying the prince right now.
As I'm dumping him into the trash can, I'm like, all we have to do is take this out and get rid of it. And there's no evidence that the prince is even dead.
Yeah, I'm sure that the sheriff and Amelia will totally not go looking for him in any
Just went on
way.
vacation.
But can they
Plus-
track us?
Plus, he routinely deleted everything on this phone, but I was able to find some stuff on it, and it's referencing packages and like meetings and things like that. So there definitely is some sort of something going on. So they're very likely to continue doing his really piss poor job of running this city. So we should at the very least figure out what the hell they were doing together, their little trifecta.
I bet you the meetings are to pick up those dossiers, but why they have folders on everybody, I have no idea.
Folders on everybody?
Yeah, there's like, it's really hard to explain the images in my head.
I don't know if I want to know about the images in your head.
I do a little bit.
Right. We were talking. So everyone, he was collecting information on all of the kindred in the city. And all of you have folders somewhere. I was expecting in that safe, but
like not happy, make you do what you want kind of information.
is that what I got the feeling of? Like,
Oh, well, I mean, you can probably extrapolate that from the fact that he's got a record of your exploits that don't involve your actual artwork.
right.
The blood wall is artwork.
Right.
So we need to find those and burn them.
You're
Yeah.
goddamn right. We need to
Upside down.
find them.
What's that?
Well,
Am I still being dangled upside down?
Probably not by this point.
Oh, I would love it if you were just like, what happened? And just like froze.
just swing in there.
We can start counting out the money so that I can divide it evenly between us. If
All right.
I'm no longer hanging upside down.
You can do that. You're now at about 35 minutes until sunrise. You want to spend the night here?
So
It might be better if we spend the night here, honestly.
In
Right.
the chamber with the dead prince. That's
Well, it might be a
trash
free
can.
meeting with the sheriff and Amelia when they show up. And who knows what else. I mean, let's be honest. He's the prince. He's running the town, and there's just a fucking safe here. We really think there's just the safe here? There's no way,
Right.
especially if the RA's visions aren't him disemboweling a
But
corpse.
this is not his like main getaway, right? This is like
This
an
is
alternative one.
like a auxiliary haven he keeps. What you managed to do, let's just say for argument's sake, you managed to convince him to come to a meeting at a place that you chose, actually in the sewers, in the hopes that you'd be able to, kind of corner him, right?
Right.
You pursued him back here. He used sewer access to get into this area, but then went up top, went into the warehouse, went down into this auxiliary haven. So you weren't even aware that this was like one of his places. You just followed him here, basically.
But neither is anyone like, oh, I'm supposed to meet the prince at his auxiliary haven at 7:00 tomorrow. So it might be a safe place to stay. But also, this wasn't like something we just like willy nilly just thought of. Hey, let's all go kill the prince tonight! Yay! Like this is something we planned. So what was our plan to get out, like away from the sun before?
Your plan was if things went sideways, you were going to stay in the sewer.
Yeah.
So what do you all think? Should we go back to the sewer or should we stay here?
I vote here and watch the sewer, but I'm the main reason is if he has an auxiliary haven, my thought is that this is probably the place that he would store shit that's not super incriminating, but still might lead us somewhere. And who knows, maybe there's some more info on the sheriff and Amelia other than just the safe. There could be something. I mean, it couldn't hurt. Unless you guys want to go out in the sun. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
Fun
down to
monkey
not
down
go out
here.
in the sun.
In fact, I'm already getting out some fishing line from this nasty old like ditty bag that I carry around with me, and I'm tying my sawed-off shotgun up near the door and running a line over to the handle. If you got anything to do outside, I recommend doing it now.
All right, why don't you make a let's call that an intelligence, and I'll let you go either crafts or firearms.
Oh, intelligence is something I am very good at.
Excellent.
No, I mean that was sarcasm.
Also excellent.
Excellent.
I'm gonna lose some fingers. No, I'm not. 2 successes
Awesome. You set it up and
on 3
make
dice. I
make
can't
a pretty
believe it.
basic trap that if that door comes open, whoever opens it is going to get a 12 gauge to the chest.
Yep.
So
Which
before
will
you
upset just about any of the kindred in the city, as far as you know.
before you get it set up, I just need to run the trash out really quick.
All right.
Are you just gonna dump the prince into the sewer?
Well, yeah. So yes, I just take the trash bag out and like find some place within distance, before the sun comes up, to just like go and put him in like if there's any like homeless like areas where they have like those burning barrels, just throw the trash bag in there or somewhere that it's obviously not, in the warehouse.
Yeah, in the warehouse itself, there's like a dumpster for trash. If you step outside,
I'd like to take it away from the building. Yeah, definitely.
And Dustbusters have that little nasty gray sock puppet thing inside
Right.
of them that you
I
have
just
to
throw
like
that away in
clap
it.
it off to get the stuff
Actually, I'm just
out.
going to throw the whole fucking Dustbuster away.
as you go outside on the street, it's really like you're kind of like in an industrial park. You're about 3 blocks from the actual dock, so you could just run it over and drop it in the water, or you could throw it in one of the other dumpsters. Those are pretty much the only.
Other dumpster's fine.
All right, throw it in the dumpster across the street. Nobody will look there and come back and
Right.
go back inside as the door is being sealed off. That's going to eat about 10 minutes. What are the rest of you doing during that 10 minutes?
I would be investigating like the desk, the chair, lifting up any carpets, looking behind paintings, all the classic tropes of I'm hiding shit. So
All right. Anybody else?
Can I go hunting before we set this trap up? I'm hungry.
There's almost no chance you're gonna find anything.
Yeah, you got
But then-
20 minutes. You might pick up a
That's fair.
rat.
All right. I'll eat tomorrow.
Anything else that you want to do before you bed down, or at least
I'll
during this
help
10 minutes? I should say.
investigate.
All right. And what about Elfredrike?
If it's 20 minutes and he's gonna be like done for the day, he's like, yeah, we did a thing. I think killing a prince is enough like progress for one day. I'm gonna go to sleep on this like plank of wood.
All right. So the two of you who are investigating, go ahead and give me a wits investigation check, if you don't mind, and we'll pool your successes together.
I have 4 successes.
I have 2.
Okay.
Oh wait, 3. I have 3. Heckin' 9s and 6s. No kitties.
Okay. So as you're going through, you find there's no other. Well, first of all, in the prince's stuff, you find a whole bunch of financial records, kind of the types of things you would expect. There's no real organizational method to his madness. He seems to have just sort of thrown shit into a pile, called him. At least in his front desk. As you're digging around, you find a little button underneath the desk itself that, when you click it, opens a false wall behind his throne, where there's another office that is much more meticulously. And in that office, you find records of more business dealings that are a lot more that are more illegal and more correctly filed, one might say, a little easier to track. You also find there's like a workbench. On that workbench, you see an item. Looks like it's a manila envelope. Looks like there's some sort of object inside of it. There's something boxy, and then there's an irregular shape next to the boxy item in this manila that is sealed and unlabeled.
I'm gonna open it.
Yep.
There's a VHS cassette and a charm bracelet. VHS cassette is unmarked.
Is there a VCR?
There is. There's VCR in the main office with a, tube TV that's yay by yay.
What does the charm bracelet look like? Is it like does it look like a gift, or does it belong to them? Or?
Looks like something that looks like a child's charm bracelet. Like it would probably have something that like kids would, they'd trade them and they'd have little charms that they'd give one another, things like that.
I don't know about you, but I have a really bad feeling about the weed whacker outside my apartment currently, and the VHS.
You barely hear it.
I'm gonna pop the VHS in.
All right. You pop the VHS in. You see some imagery of one of the local members of the Lankea Sanctum, which is the sort of church of kindred. See him step into a room where there's a couple of girls, look like they're probably 8 or 9. And he kneels next to them and says, "So I understand that you had a issue with Father Mackey." And they start nodding. Says, "Don't worry, child. I'm here to grant you peace." And drains them both.
The prince did that?
No, it was a member of the Lankea Sanctum, one of the local kindred.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm visibly enraged. Like all I want to do is kill this guy now. That's like my life, like life
I am
goal
not
for the
visibly enraged,
sleep.
but I am very still.
Yeah.
Even I shudder a little bit. I'm just like, kids, really?
Yeah. Yep.
So we need to find both this guy and Father what's his name and just off both of them.
And here's the, and I'm like holding the charm bracelet. I'm like, is this one of those kids? Like, what did the prince have to do with it? Why?
You can clearly see that the charm bracelet was on one of the children. They each had one.
So is this VHS recording, like, is it on a stand, or is it like, wobble vision where somebody's holding it?
It looks like a security camera. And that tape looks old.
So I wonder, this is just a stretch, but I wonder if he was being blackmailed because he knew about this and they were that's what all the dossiers and gathering information was for. I mean, it's even more like now it's just more questions. Like before it was shady. Now it's really shady. Why is this here instead of his main place? Like, this doesn't make any damn sense. This should be in his main area. So there could be even worse shit.
Right?
How old does it look? Like, based on the stylings and stuff, what decade are we in?
Give me a You're familiar with kids and whatnot too, right? Like, because you, from the library, you see what kids wear and shit.
Yeah.
And it's on a VHS tape.
I mean, it is on a VHS tape. Why don't you go ahead and give me a intelligence and let's say socialize or streetwise, whichever you feel is best. Roll.
One success.
Judging by the clothing, you would say probably 1990s. Maybe late 1980s.
And this is a local church?
Yes. Well, and you know that
Gesundheit.
the Lankea Sanctum maintains influence in various local Christian churches. You're not sure which one it is. You're assuming by the reference to Father and by the clothing the guy's wearing that it's probably Catholic. But there's no indication of like what church it is. Now, the Lankea Sanctum members, as far as you know, none of them maintain a mask where they're active in the church. At least at this point.
Was there any talking on that VHS? Like outside of what you said, like from the kids or anything like that? Like, did anybody have like a super thick accent or?
No accents.
No. Gotcha.
Is it? I guess is it understandable, or is there any way we can tell? Did he just drain them, or did he then feed them from himself afterwards? Like, are these kids running around as vampires, or did he just kill them?
As near as you can tell, he just killed them.
Okay. I mean, while it's not my food source of choice, like every vampire has to feed, and so like I'm more curious, like why is he covering up for this priest, or you know what I mean? Like getting rid of the
Or
witnesses?
are they using it as like a racket to get free meals? Like that was what I was going to ask. Has there been like a steady like, oh, somebody who went to this church disappeared like once a month type of thing? Or
Right.
I mean, not that you're aware of, but
gotcha.
And that was a while. We're playing today, right? Like
yeah.
Okay. So that was a while ago.
And I don't recognize the building. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's inside of a room. Now that you're looking at it, you are reasonably certain that this is like security camera footage.
Yeah.
You're also reasonably, like, there's time code on it, but it doesn't give you like the.
But it does seem Catholic.
It does seem Catholic.
Noted. Cool. With that, I'm gonna go the fuck to bed.
Right on.
And I'm gonna sleep in the secret room because that feels safer.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was leaning towards as well.
All right, the two of you bed down in the secret room. Does anybody want to try anything else or do anything else before you bed down?
I'm going to try and stay awake.
Sure, make a humanity roll. Good luck.
Always do this. I'm parking over by
Zero.
my shotgun trap.
Right? You're like, don't worry, I'll stay up and walk.
Right?
And you're sleeping next to the shotgun, you said? All right, excellent. You all have a restful night's sleep. Sleep like the dead.
Ba-dum-bum.
When you wake, you're all -1 vitae.
No.
What does that put your vitae at?
I'm at 1.
Oh
Excellent.
no!
What's everyone else's at?
I'm at 8.
7.
4.
6.
All right. When you wake up, I would like you to roll just Layla. Resolve plus composure, please.
3 successes.
All right, you wake up in control of yourself, but you are starving.
I need to fucking eat.
Oh, this is down by the docks. This is my kind of neighborhood. I can probably find you some D-bags to feast down on if you want.
God, please, yes.
Or some sewer rats on your way up.
Oh, you're gonna head out and head to the nearest populated area. Is everyone leaving the apartment?
I'll leave.
Should we leave this place intact?
Yeah, I think so. I think the longer that they think the prince is just out and about, the longer we have to look innocent.
What do you want to do with the building deeds? Should we put them back in the safe, or do we want to keep them?
I think we keep everything. I mean, why would they open the safe? I think we just lock it. You know, maybe we leave a little bit of cash in there. And be like, oh, there's nothing in here. And I've already gotten everything I can out of the cell phone. So unless you guys think I should keep it in case we get a call that we can't answer, we could probably put that back as well too.
Actually, keeping the cell phone sounds like a good idea because that way we know
Well,
when they start looking for them.
And if
Yeah,
we
well-
want to get in touch with them, we can do that.
Well, here was my question. Since I
Yes,
have a
Ted.
laptop with programming rating 2, would I be able to like route calls through?
Not
From that
off of
cell
a,
phone?
well, I mean,
Just like so like it would hit
yeah,
that number
you
and
can set
then
up
come to
call
mine.
forwarding. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a Nokia,
that was
not like
my
a
thought is
wall
like if
phone.
they track that phone somehow, they're not like, there they are. Why do you have the prince's cell
It's a flip
phone?
phone. They're not tracking it.
Yeah. I was
This
trying
is
to
the
avoid
prince's
that.
cell phone? It's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
I am a
So I will
smartphone.
communicate that I can set up to get call forwarding so that way we're not potentially being tracked and it will keep the illusion up that, you know, nothing's wrong. Everything's how it normally is.
All right. I'm going to take some like random books from the bookshelf and put them in the safe.
Okay. So are you setting up forwarding and leaving the phone behind? Is that the plan? then?
Yeah, I assume I would have downloaded everything and then I set up like call/text forwarding and
All right.
leaving the phone behind.
All right. You all bounce out. Are you all heading together to go and feed, or are you going to split up at all?
Like I said, I figure I live. Is this the east side docks or the west side docks?
East side docks, we'll say.
Ah, fuck. Okay, that's not my territory, but I could still probably. I know what to look for when it comes to assholes no one should miss. So
Sure. Go ahead and give me just a let's do wits socialize maybe, or wits.
Okay.
Unless you think
Streetwise, maybe?
Streetwise would be fine.
okay, let's do that. So we got that. Oh, I'm short a die. Come on, guys. Do Mama proud. 1 success on 4 freaking dice.
All right. That's one success is sufficient. You find 2 guys that are kind of giving a homeless dude some shit. They definitely seem like they've been pre-gaming and they look like they're on their way to a dive bar. Shouldn't be too hard for the group of you to take, let alone any one of you.
Yep.
So what would you like? How would you like to approach this feeding?
Well, unless somebody stops me and tries to apply something subtle, it's probably, "Hey, asshole, wham!"
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I have any objections to that.
Yeah.
If I
Strength
hear
plus
that,
brawl.
Yep. And you're minus 2 dice for their defense.
Minus
You
2
hear that,
dice
what?
for their defense. Okay, so that's.
if I hear that, I'm going to follow up with "You're attacking my friend," and just jump in melee brouhaha style.
All
2
right.
successes.
So, brouhaha.
All right. So you punch this dude and like you feel his nose sort of give under your fist and blood sprays out. What would you like to do, Alfredrique?
There was another one, right?
Yes, there was another one.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm coming straight for the sternum, just like taking him. How dare
Nice.
you? How dare you attack my friend? We were having a nice conversation. You're a horrible person.
All right, strength brawl -2.
Strength and brawl. Alrighty.
Don't forget to apply your vigor.
Yes. 'Cause I did forget that. Two.
All right.
Two success.
You hit him like uppercut into the sternum, and you feel like his solar plexus separate from the bone where you hit him. And he just and he crumples over. The homeless guy looks up and goes, "You're a pretty good friend to have, buddy."
Here,
I got you,
man, and
friends.
I hand him $40 out of the roll, and I'm like, get yourself a night someplace with a roof.
You betcha. And he gets up and stumbles off, leaving you completely unobserved.
All right, breakfast is on me. I go
Yeah,
stand and
I'm-
watch by the end of the alley or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would probably stand watch as well, since Vitae is what determines whether you're hungry or not, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And I have 8, so
Okay. If you are less than your maximum, you still have a pang of hunger. If you are at 4 or less, you're in danger of being the.
and our maximum was determined by the dice roll when we
No,
started,
your
or
maximum is 12.
Is 12.
Except
Okay.
for Yare's, who is now 14.
okay. Yeah, so I'm not starving to death, is what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit. For now, I'm gonna stand watch.
Sure. Ailey, as soon as you taste that blood, I need you to make another resolve component.
Boy. Zero successes.
Excellent. She kneels down next to the one who's like gasping and very gently places her fangs inside. Where would you go to bite? The wrist, the neck, the thigh? Where's your preferred?
Oh, I'm going for the neck. Let's do it.
Excellent. She gently sinks her fangs into his neck. And then you all hear this crunching sound as she literally just rips him open. Like his head, like takes the top off his head like it's a pop top. It's just kind of like hanging there at the side looking at you with dead eyes as the blood is just spraying into her face. And she's just snarling and sniffing.
Oh,
friend.
God.
Who is trying to hold his eye in place still, looks up and sees this and like audibly vacates his entire digestive system.
Well, I know we're not feeding from him from that direction.
Yeah.
It's the audibly that really made that.
Right.
I don't think that
as he starts backing
Huey.
away on his hands and feet, like crab crawling backwards.
Can I just
nice.
step
I was
on
gonna say
him?
I don't think Huey, when Huey said breakfast is on me, they meant literally, but you know.
What would you like
Yeah.
to do there, Professor?
I just kind of want to step on him. Like I don't want to eat him anymore, but we can't have him like army crawling to someone else.
Are you gonna step on him like I'm stepping on your leg so you can't go anywhere? Or are you gonna step on him like American History X?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, let's just go American History X. Let's just do this.
Go ahead and roll. You'll be at minus. His defense doesn't apply because he's prone, but you will be at -2 because curb stomping is a challenge.
Oh, I only got one success this time.
That's enough. You like come up and like jump and get enough air that like your back heel is about at eye level with him, and just come down, and you hear like the crunch of his neck go as he drops onto the ground, twitching. Blood's still good. Blood's still warm. If anybody's hungry.
But there's so much blood all over the ground. You guys are so wasteful. Ah.
After about 2 minutes, Layla snaps out of her friend and looks around and sees the just carnage and death. You're completely dripping with blood. There's blood sprayed up about 5 or 6 feet along the wall on both sides of this alley. Everybody else, like, you can see you got, like, from shins down on everyone else. They kind of had to back up because you were just sort of flailing around a bit. The good news is you can you gain up to 10 vitae, so that should take you to full, or like 11. The bad news is since you in fact have killed someone, you're going to need to make a check to see if your humanity goes down.
Congratulations, you full-on Dextered that guy.
Looks like it tasted good,
Hey,
though.
have a napkin.
I'll pull my handkerchief out of my pocket and hand it to you.
I would like you to roll 2 dice, please, if you don't mind. Both Layla and Alfredrique, because you did.
Yeah, no, I did just
straight murder a dude.
I got 1 success.
I got 1 success.
You both feel terrible about this. You can rationalize what that guilt is to kind of fit your personal philosophies if you want to, but you both do feel extreme guilt enough to hold on to that.
Not
Feel
gonna
bad
be
that I
taking
lost control. I hate losing control.
not gonna be taking an Uber home. I can tell you that.
And if we're eating the dead guy that wasn't torn into pieces, how much vitae do we get?
He's got 8 in him after the curb stomp.
Was anyone else eating?
If you really gotta, go for it. I could eat a little bit, but
Get a little off the finger.
yeah. I'll take 2.
Okay.
2's good. It'll do me for a while.
And as you're wrapping up the last bit of feeding, you all hear a loud but distant rumble.
What kind of rumble? Like
Yeah.
an explosion or like
Like a firework or a gunshot.
Oh, hey.
Or
Oh,
something along those lines. Some sort of.
My hand goes to the hilt of my sawed off, just sort of on reflex.
Oh yeah. Wait, I was like, I thought for a second there we left the door trap. I'm like, wait a minute. How the fuck did we get out then?
Yeah. At least that's what it sounds like at first. Why don't each of you give me a wits composure roll, if you don't mind?
Wits composure. Where is
Only 1.
okay.
1 success.
3 successes.
1 success on 5 dice.
4 successes.
I had 1 on 5.
Excellent. So most of you simply see, as you kind of look in the direction of the sound, you can see a fire burning just on the kind of other side of the docks. Some building looks like it maybe caught fire. There must have been, you heard a blast or something.
That where the warehouse was?
No, it's not where you were. No, it's like
Okay.
if you consider the docks to be like almost like a bay, and like think of it as on the other side of the bay.
Was it perhaps one of the buildings that we found the deeds for?
That's possible. That's quite possible. Alfredrique, you're able to tell from where you're at. You're at least pretty sure that is an art gallery that was opened up recently as partially on the mortal side, just as part of good old gentrification. But you do know that the Deva opened that specifically so that they would have a nice foothold down here so that they could, they could slum it and get less desirable blood. And,
Gotcha.
Looks to you, you're pretty sure that's the building that just blew up.
Remember that time I said we should all go to an art gallery? Well, next time we should go when we can, because I don't think we can go anymore.
Is that what that
There
is?
are more art galleries than that one.
But that
Just,
was
just saying.
Was there an art gallery in the deeds that we found?
There are 2 art galleries in the deeds that you found.
Are
Hmm.
either of them on one of these local streets?
You pull them out and start flipping through 'em.
I sure do.
All right, you.
After I use the handkerchief to wipe the blood from my face again. Ultimately,
I mean, you're still getting a little bit of blood on these deeds, but
I'm doing my best.
not nearly
I was
as
going to
bad
say,
as-
you've got a clean spot on your face now.
You start flipping through, and sure enough, yes, though the deed is in Amelia's name. And you start noticing that some of these, several of these deeds are in the names of other kindred in the city.
Are any of them that? But we don't know what his name was. The vampire that was in the video. We just know the priest's name, right?
Right. And none of them are in his name.
So we're at the docks. That means there's water nearby, right?
I was
Yeah,
just about to say.
Yeah.
Within a couple blocks, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hand the deeds off to Sevka, and then I'm just gonna jump into the water with my clothes on.
All right. You jump in for a swim. Give me a strength and athletics roll.
Oh, I'm not good at that. 1 in strength, 0 in athletics. Cool.
All right. You have what's called a chance. Or no, it's not less than 1 though, right? You have 1 die.
Well, I have -1 if it's unskilled, right?
Yes.
So this is a chance die.
All right. Awesome. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how this turns out.
I don't know how to swim.
Well, on the bright side, you can always walk home.
I rolled a 5.
All right. So it's not a botch. You got that going for you. You dive into the water, and it occurs to you that you just sink straight to the bottom. And you're like trying to swim, but you can't really get any buoyancy. So you wind up like walking over to the edge and like climbing out of the river.
Yeah, I don't have to breathe, right? So
Right.
I can walk out zombie style.
Right. You start crawling out, and she's under there for like 2 minutes before she comes crawling out of the side.
I feel better.
Like a fish falls out of her hair.
I'm sensing that today is not your most dignified morning.
I told you I was hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, the fountain of blood kind of gave that away.
Yeah, we all had bad days.
You can now see the cherries going toward the fire across the bay.
Should we dump this body though? Do we really want the police to find this torn apart? We're not really in an area where you can blame it on wild animals.
Right.
Cram them in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Mangled up in the truck and probably lost, and no one will be able to figure out what happened.
Oh,
Yep.
but wait, we're by the docks, right?
Yeah.
So go chuck them in the water, because have you ever seen somebody hit by a propeller? It is amazing. I mean, it's terrible. Terrible.
Well,
what
I
happens
think
to
the problem
body.
is that he's not going to float anymore, considering he was essentially ripped in half. I don't think.
I mean,
he's
if he
gonna have the
sinks, that's even
buoyancy.
better, right?
Well, I mean, until they go
Yeah.
look. Well, I guess they're not going to find him immediately. Who's going to give a shit about this degenerate?
You can see Huey. You can see Huey fighting off a D-Day flashback.
You ever seen Man Bites Dog? There's a formula in there for how to balance the body. So you go toss the bodies, plural, into the.
I'm
Into the
kind of
water.
hoping the serial killer will dump them for me.
I'm
I
happy
did not.
to.
Are you keeping anything?
From the body?
Yeah, I was asking more specifically if Yare was.
Oh.
Because generally,
I mean, At the end, I lick my fingers, but other than that,
Oh, you don't have like a keychain of fingers that you carry around?
These two, they don't count.
Well, I
right?
know,
Exactly.
This
See,
is a cheat
Huey
day.
understands.
right. The normal, I understand that his normal trophy is the photograph. You know.
I don't know whether I should be disturbed that Travis knows that, or
So you finish dumping the body, and about the time that you get the last body in the water, your laptop does indicate, like, you hear a ping, like you got a text message.
Well, I'm reading that immediately.
Just got word from A. Ping me so I know you're okay.
So I can respond, but will it look? I guess it would be forwarded to the cell phone and then forwarded from there, right? So
Sure.
it still
Yeah, you can
still
have
look
that
like the
set.
prince was doing it.
You can have it set.
Alright.
Before you do that, give me a wits and blood potency roll.
Wits and blood potency. Okay.
That's an interesting one.
It is.
Oops. Hold on. I super succeeded, by the way. Yeah, 4 successes.
All right. Two things simultaneously occur to you. One, A is probably Amelia. Two, you're aware that if a vampire has bound another vampire through blood bonding, essentially, if you drink another vampire's blood enough, you start to fall in supernatural love with them. It's not a healthy love. It's a, like, let me follow you around like a puppy dog and do everything you say, really scary love. It's basically mind control almost. And you're aware that if a vampire is bloodbound to someone, when that person dies, they immediately feel.
So that's why that could potentially be why they're like, "Hey, are you okay? There was an explosion."
Well, no, he said in the text, I heard from A, and I'm pinging you to see if you're okay.
So that's the sheriff that's pinging.
Probably.
Shit.
What's going on?
I can't really make out one way or the other what's going on, but I think they know that the prince isn't around already. I think they might have been bloodbound.
Yeah, shit. Well, do we want to go big or go home? Because we could always text him back and say, no, I'm fucking dead because I was an asshole.
I'm completely fine with that.
Are
Yep,
we?
I'm
But
on
we're
board
not
for
even ready to deal with that. We have an opportunity for it just not to respond, and we could set up an ambush there because they're going to send somebody to go looking.
Are they going to know where he bit it, though?
We could
We
say,
could also potentially attempt to say we're not dead, just extremely badly wounded.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. We could just pretend to be him and be like, I need help. The meeting that I had didn't go as planned. It went super sideways. I need somebody here.
I think
If
somebody
you're
threw me in a
confident,
dumpster.
If you're confident, you can sound like him.
I mean, I have record after record after record of his text. I'm pretty sure that we can throw together a small sentence that sounds like the prince. But
As you glance at those old texts, you realize that he was definitely someone who was using a alphanumeric and was not good at using an alphanumeric.
simple enough.
There's a lot of like mistyped letters and like
God,
extra.
He texts as bad as I do.
Yeah.
Back
So,
in the good old
is
days
that-
where you had to QRS. What the fuck is there a P in here?
Is that what we want to do? Do we want to set up a impromptu meeting and have shit hit the fan right this second, or do we want to give ourselves more headway to really properly plan this out as we go ahead? And why the hell are they blood bonded? Like,
Because he's an asshole. He's a
Asshole, yeah.
control
Why are we
Right,
shocked?
but why did he need that to happen? He wouldn't take the time to set that up unless he needed it to happen.
He didn't need it to happen. He wanted it to happen.
Abusers
Yeah,
don't
but-
necessarily need control.
But then why is he getting all those dossiers and all that? Like, he's not just going to ask them to do it. I feel like the prince wasn't the prize that we were really looking for here.
I think you're reading into it. He's just a controlling dickwad. This is how he.
Coming from one controlling dickwad. From
the
the point
fuck
of
are
view
you talking about? I can barely control my own fucking
No,
life.
I
You
mean
think I'm-
me, coming from me.
Oh,
You.
right. Yeah, all right. Sorry, both got a turn there.
What I'm trying to say is, if I was going to do this and run the whole town and collect information on every damn person, every vampire in the whole fucking place, I don't know. If I asked you guys to do it, you wouldn't willingly doing it. You wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, give me 10 grand. Oh yeah, I'll go do that. No way. Well, you also get flipped upside down and shaken down for our cash, so you don't really count. So what I'm trying to get at is that I feel like there's a little bit more to it. I just want to know how fast we want to run into this.
I just care about getting the dossiers. Do we know where those might be?
They definitely do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm kind
I
of thinking. I'm
really-
kind of thinking we send back something, short and terse, like, not dead, just real bad hurt. Bring me somebody I can drink.
What were you saying, Ailey?
No, I agree with that.
All right.
So I'll get it together and basically just try and mirror his text as much as possible.
Make a manipulation and computer roll. You're going to be at -2 dice because it's very hard to. It's like you have to remember, like, oh shit, it's PQRS.
I got 2 successes on 3 dice.
You send a pretty good facsimile. What exactly do you want it to say?
I assume they know about the meeting with all of us and going to the spot.
You can
So
assume that.
I'll say, yeah. So I'll say, meeting at secondary or whatever. I assume he had some word for it in the text at some point or another.
Well,
Like
the
what he
meeting
called
was-
that.
The meeting was at the sewer anyway.
Yeah, so I'll just say at the sewer. Meeting at sewer went sideways. Am hurt. Very hungry.
Okay. All right. You just get a K in response.
Yeah. So we need to go there now. The sooner we get there, the more time we have to get set up to figure out what the hell's going on.
All right.
We don't know that they're going to believe us, though. We should be prepared for them to.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna get there, we need to get there now. Set up the ambush. Be ready to go. So.
All right. Any objections to this plan, or is anyone running off to get away from this plan?
There's no money in it. Just the dossiers.
All right. You start heading back to the basement. Yare, you get a text message. Are you okay? From your camera assistant.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Have you turned on? Have you seen the news, or have you been out in the streets?
On the streets now, and I don't watch the news. It's so depressing.
Yeah. Well, the cops have said that everyone's supposed to avoid from 38th Street to 42nd Street, Broadway down to 9th Avenue, because there's some sort of gang fight or something.
Is that where the explosion was?
No.
I'll ask her if she knows what caused the explosion.
News just said that there was a fire at this art gallery. There's just 5 alarm. They haven't said anything yet.
How close is this area where the gang fights are to
That's
us?
other side of town.
Oh, okay. Not there. I'm not going to say where I am. Not there. Doing good. Thanks for the heads up.
No problem. Do you need anything? I could come get you. I could come pick you up. It's okay. I don't mind.
I know. I've got stuff going on right now. You keep yourself safe.
I can do that. Just be careful. The world needs your genius.
I know. I'll see you for tomorrow's shoot.
I can't wait. XOXO.
Heart, vampire heart.
God.
All right, you get back down into the
If there's
basement.
anything worse than a cutesy serial killer, I don't know what there is.
And I'll tell everyone about this gang activity. Which is that weird? That seems weird?
Extremely weird. Yeah, like, there's crime. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
shutting
New
down
York.
several blocks of
Of
the city.
Midtown?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my question with
Hardcore.
that news. Is it hurting any businesses that I would have my fingers in? Like, does it seem like
Oh, probably at
some
the very
people
least
that I'm
indirectly.
yeah,
I
well,
mean,
I'm just curious if it's like people that I'm blackmailing are like, you know what I mean? Because I use it to keep tabs on the other covenants and things like that as well. Like
no. In fact, why don't you roll wits and streetwise?
wits and streetwise. All right. Oops. Well, that's fine. Nothing.
Now, you have no idea what could have popped that off. It's not.
I was just curious if there was money to be made.
I mean, theoretically, but like, I mean, it sounds weird. Like that's a largely like touristy and financial area. Most gangs aren't going to fuck with it.
Yeah, and they might have needed weapons, but I don't know what's going on, so I won't.
It just seems weird.
Okay.
You get to the apartment. What would you like to do to set it up for your ambush?
Well, my thought is have everything off for the most part, have the door cracked to that back room, and have our axe wielder hide in somewhere in the first room to kind of cut off an escape. And
when
try
he
and
comes
take
in,
him
we
and
turn on the lights and we all say surprise.
yeah, pretty much. That's like, I feel like any guns going off immediately is going to kind of negate the process, but I don't know. They might already know
Like,
that he's
I don't
dead
know
and
if
seen
I-
more than one person.
I don't know if I like the idea of us boxing ourselves in there in case they bring back up.
Yeah.
We might want to plan the ambush for outside.
I can work too, but then we can't do any of that I was just thinking of the fancy door shit that Huey did beforehand.
Hmm.
You know, tripwire here, a blown hole in their side of the head there.
But we don't want to accidentally kill the person who knows where the dossiers are.
Mhm.
True, but
I mean,
also
if they're a
don't want-
vampire, it shouldn't kill them, but it would definitely put them out.
Yeah.
I mean,
What we could do-
that is 12 gauges of NyQuil right to the face.
Yeah. What we could do is set up the ambush in that apartment, but not be in the apartment. We could go next door and kill that person or family or whatever that
Hey.
lives
All
there.
right, calm down.
And
Okay.
Hold on.
It's a secret apartment under a warehouse. I don't think he's got a lot of neighbors. 2, and I'm slipping between my Midwest accents here horribly.
We could plan the ambush for the inside the warehouse.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we can force him into the apartment, that'll probably cut him off pretty well. Let me go to my truck and get my rifle. Actually, I'll be right back. Dun, 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 dun.
oh, and he's got that like umbrella stand full of stakes. We could like
Yeah.
I don't know how to Indiana Jones trap that shit, but Huey, you might have a better
You're fairly
idea.
good at traps.
I come back with this antique wooden rifle. It looks like 70 years old because it is. I got a army surplus helmet on. All right, so I figure I get the high ground, and
All right, Grandpa.
I can flea flick any of the any of the muscle that they bring with them, and if we try to drive them into the apartment, then we can hold down whoever the smart no one stuff person is, and kick his ass at our leisure.
Yeah.
How's that
So
sound?
when I look at their rifle, is it bolt action?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I don't
one
think you're
garage.
mowing anybody down. And I go, hold on, and then I go to my car. I can get my my assault rifle. I imagine would be a P90 because it's nice and compact. I'm like, this will mow someone down. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. What I think you should do, if you're a crack shot, is keep the gun trained on the smarty no person, as you put it, in case they try to fuck off or rip somebody
Just
up.
leg them.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
So I had this thought while we were walking over here. What if we just go get some gasoline? After they go into the apartment, we just pour it down the hole, light those fuckers on fire, barbecue.
Well,
Because
that's what
we
I
don't
wanted to
want
do.
to kill them until
Yeah,
we touch them.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we just
we
want to
got-
murder them and get
But-
zero information, then sure.
But we can just figure out where they live and go to their houses that are now empty because they obviously won't be there. How do you think I make so much of my? I mean,
I look at El Friedrich and I'm like, can you talk any sense into him at all?
I got this. I got this.
All right. Don't you enjoy torture?
I mean, I don't know the last time you were set on fire, but it hurts like hell.
I would like each of you to roll wits and composure. You're going to be minus 2 dice because you're in the middle of a heated discussion right now, out in the front of this warehouse.
All
Zero
of us.
successes.
All of you, yes.
0 successes.
One success.
While I try to talk sense into the serial killer.
2 successes.
3 successes.
You see a blue Lamborghini come whipping around the corner.
Oh,
Like-
shit.
Fishtail into a parking spot. Gull wing goes up, and the sheriff.
Yeah, we got to go now. So decision is made. We're going a direction. Move.
Yep.
Yep. And
How
it's only
in
one,
the
so this should be
hell-
easy to do.
Does the sheriff afford that on his wages? I say.
I
Sheriff
grab
gets-
you by the collar and pull you down behind a box.
This guy is built like a fire plug. Round chest, meaty fists, bulldog face. He isn't particularly charismatic or attractive, but he is known to be able to play good cop, bad cop all by himself. Bald head, beard. He gets up and sort of walks purposefully to the entrance of the warehouse. He does not appear to be carrying any major armaments.
I think we
gonna
just
stand up.
mug his ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up and be
I'm gonna-
like,
I'm gonna
"Hey,
whisper, he also didn't bring food to eat.
he is
Yeah.
food to eat."
I just pop up with the M1, which actually is semi-automatic if I remember correctly, and not bolt action.
It
And I'm
is.
just
It is
like,
semi-automatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you for some reason you had like a Mosin.
Like an old
No.
fucking Lee
Put a
Harvey
hole
Oswald
through
and
someone
shit.
with a 7.62 or
Yeah.
some shit.
First you
Who
ram the
always
powder.
who always hopping up and saying, "Hey"?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm looking around going, do we mug him?
Yeah.
Like,
He turns
A
on a
Pugsley.
heel, not looking particularly surprised,
Mhm.
and
I'm gonna-
puts his bless you.
Bless.
He says "bless you" and then puts his hands up.
Mhm.
He says, "This doesn't have to go this way."
I'm gonna meet his eye.
Which way? The way where you and I have a conversation? I mean, it doesn't. We could just try to rip you to pieces,
mean,
but, you know.
You're holding a gun.
Uh-huh.
So
I
There's
figured it was-
several of us holding
I
guns,
figured
and
it
I
was-
stand up.
I figured it was warranted.
He is human, right?
no.
No.
No, interesting.
Sheriff?
Not
Well-
not the mortal sheriff, like the kindred sheriff, the
Yeah.
the cop, or the vampire cop.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna try and bend his will to my will.
Okay, you're gonna try using dominate on him.
Yeah.
All right. What are you going to try to do with dominate?
So the first thing I have to do is mesmerize before I can do anything else, because he has to be under my will. So he would do no crap, wrong page. He has to do resolve plus blood potency, which makes me sad because humans don't have blood potency. So I thought I was just like, I'm gonna squish this guy, but never mind. Son of a bitch. I have 2 successes versus his whatever.
Find out.
That's a lot of dice. Oh no. He's re-rolling.
He looks at you and starts to sway a little bit.
Hmm.
You have given him the mesmerized condition.
Do I feel like he is mesmerized, or is he
Yeah.
fucking with me?
You feel the connection.
Okay. What are you doing there, Huey, with your gun?
Keeping him from going anywhere while we get what we need from him. So, me having the gun means you guys got to go deal with him, because if I get close, he could grab it. See, that's something that they train you on that you don't see on the television now. So I'm staying here so you guys go do the talking to him part of it. Go on.
Yep. I'll go up. I'll go up and just immediately address him. And I'm arm and a half's length away,
Okay.
we'll say. And I'm just, why are you responding? Where's the food?
Didn't bring any. Prince is dead.
Prince is dead.
So why even bother reaching out?
Gonna be a shit show. Already started.
Oh, do you mean? And I referenced the area, the gang war.
Yep. And Amelia's gallery and the cult, Central Park. Everybody's got blood, smells blood in the water, and Amelia's making it.
Millie's making it worse. How?
Stoking the fires. Told everybody.
Why would she do that again?
I think it's a power play.
So why did she send you here?
He didn't. You can tell he's starting to struggle against the dominate.
Can I also dominate him? Double domination.
He's already dominated, so if you try to give him the mesmerized condition, there's a good chance that he can break loose from both.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious.
It's not like grappling D&D.
Right. Yeah. I was like, can I assist?
I'm gonna spend a vitae to make him tell us where the dossiers are.
I don't know. Amelia,
He's
you know
useless.
Yeah.
We should send him to the prince.
No. Do you know who has them?
Because Amelia's in charge of that.
All right.
Thoughts on trying to use him to get close to Amelia?
Seems useful to me.
Where is Amelia?
Don't know. Her haven's on fire.
Can you find her easily?
No.
Is she taking your calls, or is she just, off doing her little?
She'll take my calls.
Well, how much do you want to live?
Hang on a sec.
Well,
Hang
I
on a
mean,
sec.
we only have a limited amount of time before we're at that situation.
Before we're
already.
actually reasoning with the man instead of, holding him.
I look at Yare. I don't know.
All right. So here's the point. Your boss was a dick. He fucked up this city. He fucked up the people here. We're going to try to do something better. Doesn't look like that's working out so great right now, but we got a chance to clean this up. If you're in on the saloon, that's great. If you want to bugger off to Scranton or wherever with your retirement money, that's also great by me. But, you want to help us unfuck some of this? By all means, feel free to join in.
He blinks a couple times. You're pretty sure that without further uses of dominate, he's about to regain control of himself.
Mm-hmm. And now we see.
He closes his eyes hard and reopens them, and he says, "All right, here's the deal. I know what's in most of those dossiers because I collected them. I know Amelia's got the hard evidence somewhere. My hope was that I would come here, we'd be able to have a rational conversation about what things are going to look like if and when we are able to diffuse the Amelia situation and come to an understanding that was mutually beneficial for all parties."
What do you think that looks like?
Well, somebody's going to need to be Prince.
I put my rifle down.
He looks around. I don't think any of you want that.
If now the weed whacker wasn't back, I would be like, well, I'm definitely interested in power and money and more power. So Prince seems pretty nice, honestly, with my aspirations.
He says, "Prince is power, sure, but Prince is also a big goddamn target on your back, as you can all attest.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas power behind the throne carries a little bit more power. So my recommendation to you is we go resolve this Amelia situation before she blows this whole thing wide open. Because my understanding is that she's put word out on the street that she wants to auction off the contents of the Prince's dirty little box of secrets to the highest bidder."
Oh, yeah, that's not happening. Mm-mm.
Well, it sounds like we need to get a control of that box or take out Amelia. So which one seems easier to you?
Both.
I don't know how we get a hold of the box. I don't know where she got it. So
Yeah, we got to get Amelia to get the boxes. So
now I'm sure I can get a meeting with her, but she's gonna be cagey. She's gonna be suspicious. It's gonna.
Well, here's the thing. So that message said, the text message that got forwarded to me was from A, right? From Amelia.
No, he said I heard from A.
Right.
So it was
But
from him.
They knew that the prince was dead as well as you did, right?
Right. It was the sheriff that sent that text message.
Right, but but both of them knew.
Right.
They heard from A, Prince is dead. And I'm just gonna outright ask, were you both bloodbound?
Nope.
So how did everybody find out so fast?
Amelia knew. Amelia was bound. She called me. I didn't realize she also probably blew up her own haven and put the word out on the street as quick as she could once she had me off the phone.
Charming.
I don't think she's made any public declaration of her intent to auction that box off yet. But I have it on good authority that's exactly what she's planning on doing. She's going to let the city rip itself apart for a day or two.
Yeah.
While everybody thinks that the leash has been slit.
All Svevka is trying to do is figure out how to be Prince, how to be Prince, how do I become Prince? Like that's all that's running through his mind right now.
He says,
So
what we've got right now is a city with about 40 kindred in it, all of whom were being held in place largely by blackmail from a prince who had dirt on literally everyone.
I say
So
let's
you're
start
saying that-
solving that.
So essentially, you're saying that he was using these dossiers to make sure the masquerade continued.
Right. Anytime somebody might start to cut out a line, he would send them an anonymous message about their behavior and about the contents of their particular package. If you've never had this visit, it's because you've never cut out a line.
So getting this dossier collection would put all of these gang members, the ones who are running around being assholes right now, put them back in line if we had it.
Uh-huh.
Almost assuredly.
Well, I know we have at least
at this too. So
I know we have at least $10,000 here, plus all of these deeds that we could potentially go bid for it.
Oh, I think the bids are I think that's gonna go. I mean, we're talking. There's gonna be people that are gonna be walking into that auction with 7 figures and vessels and domain and everything else under the sun. We're gonna need to go bigger than that if we're planning on just bidding it up. And I don't know that I'm comfortable with leaving it on the auction block.
Yeah.
What was the prince like? Like, did he have quite the financial backing?
You're asking the sheriff, or
No, out of character.
As far as you know, the prince was always holding events at buildings that other people owned. He was always, if nothing else, he was a mooch of position.
I was going to say, because that sounds a little more moochy. Yeah.
But again, though, you don't know for sure how much of that was really him actually controlling those things through blackmail.
Right.
He never flashed a lot of wealth.
So get everything before the auction block. Does that sound like the plan?
yep.
sounds like the plan to me. I think we gotta curb this chick before she fucks up the city permanent like.
I'll pat Alfred. I can't say your name, Chaz. I'm sorry. Alfred Enrique. When you say Kerber, because you were really good at curbing that guy earlier.
All right.
The sheriff says, all right, well, I'll make some phone calls. We should get out of here before any other vultures that might know about this place swoop down.
Okay. Sounds good.
He texts something on his phone and your laptop goes off. Says, that's my address. Meet me there in an hour.
Yeah, okay. Because I can investigate his address after the fact.
He pops into the Lambo, shuts the door, peels out. Is there anything
Come
else?
out of hiding.
Right? You pop out. Is there anything else that you want to do before we wrap things up?
The only thing because my character is like a stock market jackass and manipulates portfolios and stuff like that. So I assume that there's a decent chance that I could just be like, doomsday fund, and just tank a bunch of hedge funds or something. I don't know what happened. Yoink, and take all their money. So that could
if
be
you
an
want
option, but
if you want to keep that in the chamber for next
Yeah.
time as something you could possibly do, that's absolutely within your realm of influence. So, sure. Any roles that we need to resolve or things we need to do before we wrap things up for this session?
I do have a question.
I have an answer.
So if we met one of our aspirations, what would you like us to do about that?
You can all gain 1 experience for meeting your aspirations.
I see.
If any one of you met an aspiration, you all gain 1 XP.
Okay. Well, liberation was one of mine, so
That's 2. Any
Yeah,
others?
we got
That's
money.
Wits with the highest power in the city.
Yeah, that's 3 for everybody.
I have money is power, and power at all costs is getting us money. Count towards that aspiration.
Sure, so that's 4 XP for everybody.
damn.
Do you want us to replace the aspiration before next game?
You may if you decide you have something cool that you want to try to work in.
Okay.
Come the prince. Got it.
We're right up at the top of Maslow's little hierarchy of needs thingy here.
You can. I'll get you the costs for spending experience points later on, or Jeremy, if you want to send it off. I'm just doing straight experience instead of beats because it's basically one shot. If you want to buy
Sure.
some stuff, I'll let you do it. All right. So that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we do so? No? All right, rock and roll. Let's do our outros. Quick Lake Bunnies. Chaz. Pertinence and anything you'd like to promote, please.
Hi, so I am Chaz, he, him, and this Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern will be the beginning of the end for Scion Demigods, where they are now trapped in the world of the internet and Twitter and TikTok as demigods and looking to fight this like AI that has controlled the internet. This theoretically could be the final episode, depending on how it goes. Although we are planning to have next week the series finale. So yeah, check it out.
Definitely. That's here at the Onyx Path, 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Jare, you got any pertinence and things you'd like to promote?
Sure. I am Jeremy Hochhalter playing Yare Timonin. This Saturday at 2 p.m., come back here to the Onyx Path channel where I'll be running the Cavaliers of Mars Jumpstart, which I'm super stoked about. We're going to use real dice on that game too. Hooray.
Wait, I'll be playing in that
Follow-
one. That's going to be super fun.
Yay! You can follow me on Twitter at WHPubs, here on Twitch at WH Publications, and on Facebook the same, WH Publications.
Beautiful. Huey, any pertinence and anything to promote, please?
I love how you always remember my character name.
I try to make sure I'm addressing people by character names. Much as I
Oh, it's
can.
fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Hi, I'm Fran Stewart, pronoun she, her. I'm playing Huey Prochaska, pronouns very definitely he, him. And usually I'm going around messing up your Scarred Lands experience, but today I've slipped over and I'm messing around with your Vampire the Masquerade experience. You can find most of the stuff that I've written on either drive-thru or wherever fine ebooks are sold. And I believe our novel is still half price, Vigilant Through Shadows and Dreams, which is up, again, wherever fine ebooks are sold. It's a great Scarred Land story about a guy trying to make good and, well, not mostly in a fantasy universe. So go check that out.
Yes, that is the deal of the day at drivethroughfiction.com, actually. So if you go to drivethroughfiction.com, it's right up in the corner. You can pick it up 50% off. So head over and do that. I'm going to throw the link in the chat as well. While I'm at that, Layla, give us your pertinence, please.
Hello, my name is Ailey. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a fetish model and sometimes TTRPG writer. You can find me on Twitter at Kitty Curiosity. I am also part of an X-rated D&D stream called Roll for Seduction. And you can find us online at rollforseduction.com or on Twitter at rollseduction. But only check my stuff out if you are over the age of 18, because I'm like 90-ish% not safe for work.
Excellent. And that brings us to Sevka. Please.
I'm Trick, or the Hair Trick, because cosmic horror and puns are hilarious. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch at the Hair Trick and also on Twitter at the Hair Trick. You can find my Patreon at Hair Trick Productions. So if you're interested in any D&D writing, I'm working on like 3 big for me projects. currently, along with maintaining and ironing out 2 languages for a game setting that I'm working on, and I've been a level designer for an odd part of 15 years. So if you're interested in any discussions on that, I'm typically talking about it in some way, shape, or form over on my Twitch, but I'd be happy to see you. So yeah.
Sweet. And definitely check out Trick's Patreon. It's the Heretic Productions, right?
Yes.
Excellent. And that leaves me, Travis, he, him. I have been the storyteller here. When I'm not storytelling here, I storytell over at Plastic Age Plays or over at Roll Seduction, as I will be this Wednesday when we play O&O, Odysseys and Overlords. What is my next thing? The next time you will see me will be tomorrow night on this channel. I will be playing in the Trinity Continuum Aberrant, or Trinity Continuum Adventure. Ooh, wrong game. Which is an actual play to promote adventure on Kickstarter. So if you've missed the memo, Trinity Continuum Adventure is like a pulp action game set in the Trinity Continuum. It's currently raising money on Kickstarter. It's, I think, 11 stretch goals in now. So perfect
Nice.
time to hop on. Lots of extra perks if you back just at the PDF level even. You'll get a lot of cool extra stuff. So I highly recommend heading over and checking it out. I had a chance to work on the book as a writer. Did a lot of work I'm very proud of in that book, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. After that, Wednesday I'm at RFS. Saturday I'm back here to play in Cavaliers of Mars, which will fulfill one of my aspirations. I've been wanting to play that game since it came out, so it'll be my first time as a player. I'm excited. If you haven't done so yet, please follow and subscribe. Check out all these fine folks on their social medias. And get vaccinated, wear your masks, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you again real soon.
Bye, everybody.